In today's video we are going to look at the National 5 Graphics assignment from 2019, which is the Earbud. So in this video we are going to look at tasks 1, especially going around the modelling of the earbud. So there are 3 different parts that we need to model. So we have the earpiece that goes inside your ear. We have the main body which holds the earpiece onto the wireless connector, which is the back piece. In this video we are going to look at the earpiece. So looking at the drawing, we can see that we have a rounded shape and that it is symmetrical on all sides. So we are going to use a revolve function to make the earpiece. With a revolve we have to draw half of the shape so that we can then fully revolve it around, creating a symmetrical and cylindrical object. So first of all we're going to open up Inventor and we're going to click New, and we need to make sure that we are on metric and that we are selecting a standard millimetre piece. Just give that a couple of minutes to load. So once loaded, we are going to look at the drawing and see where we should start. So again, we're creating half of this shape. So I think the first line that we will start with is the line that goes from the kind of bottom of this part all the way up to the top. So in the elevation we can see that from here to here is 6 millimetres. So I'm going to go back to my drawing and start a 2D sketch. I'm going to select the XY plane and with the line tool I am going to create a line up 6 millimetres. And there we have our first line. So back on the drawing we have now created this line here, so the line that goes from here to here. We're now going to find the line that goes from the side to side. So from that we can look at the plan and see that from the top of here up to the plan it is this circle here, which is the 6 millimetre circle. So we're creating half of it, so we're going to do a line on our Inventor 3 millimetres. So let me just delete the line that has accidentally been created. So with our line at the top of where our 6 is, we're going to find the green dot and we're going to go out to the side 3 millimetres. And there we have our next line. So now comes the kind of trickier part where we need to work out the curve of this earpiece. So you can see here that it's got a wall thickness that both curve to a radius of 14. So in order to work out the curve we need to work out this point here so that we have 2 separate points to then draw our curve. So looking at the drawing we can see that from the top of our 6th line all the way down we have 8 millimetres, and from the plan we can see that from this point to this point is 14. So creating half would be 7. So we need to go down 8 and across 7. So again with my line tool I'm going to find the top of my 6 millimetre line where it connects to the 3. So there's the green dot. We're going to go down 8 and a long 7. And there we have our first 2 points to create our arc. So in our drawing, we're going to click arc. We're going to click our first point at the end of the 3, and our second point, the line that we just made earlier. And we're going to type in 14 so that we get the correct angle for our arc. So currently we have drew this shape here, but we still have the inside part to sketch out. So just like previous, we need to work out here to here so that we can draw our line. And we are going to take that line up, or sorry, we're not, we're going to look at the elevation and we can see that the line there to there is 5, so that we know that this part here is 2.5. So back on Inventor, we're going to get our line, and we're going to find the bottom of our line where the 6 is. And we know that because not only is it where our cross starts, but the dot should turn green when you're at the bottom of the 6. And in here, we're going to type in 2.5 so that we can start our next line. Now, on our elevation, we can see that this part here, the line that we're now creating at the end of the 2.5, is 5. So at our line, we're going to make sure we click the green dot, and then we're going to go up 5. So just like before, we have created the first point for our second arc. So we've created this point here. Now we need to find the second point so that we can create our arc. So to find the second point, we know that already from here to here is 7, because we previously took the 14 and we divided it by 2. So we need to work out what just this little section is. Now, to get that information, we can see that the author has told us that the wall thickness is 1 millimetre. So we know that from this point to this point is 1 millimetre. So on our drawing, we're going to get our line, and where the edge of the 7 is, where our arc is, we're going to go along 1 millimetre. Now, to avoid confusion, what you can do at this point is delete the line at 7 and delete the line at 8. So if I zoom in a little bit, where our 8 line is, we can now delete this line. Making sure that we don't delete the 6, we only delete the 8. And that creates this shape. So we can see it's starting to make its form. So in the arc tool, we're going to do our first point, and then our second point, and just like before, we're going to make that 14. And there we have our shape. So we're going to finish our sketch. And now it's to make the sketch 3D. So as I just discussed before, because it is symmetrical and round in shape, we're going to use revolve. So I'm going to click the revolve tool. I'm going to make sure that my object is selected. And I'm going to make sure that the axis is this 6 line here. So click that, and it will revolve around that line. So if I press OK, we can see now that we have the beginnings of the earpiece. So looking at the drawing, we can see that we're missing one more part. Because we have hidden detail through both of these sides, we know that this part inside the ear piece is hollow. If we look at the plan, we can see that there's a circle at 3 millimeters. So the circle must go all the way through the earpiece. So I'm going to start a sketch on the top of my earpiece, and I'm going to draw a circle from the centre out 3 and finish the sketch. Now, because the 3 goes all the way through, we are going to set our extrude to 6. So I'm going to click extrude. I'm going to change it to 6. But right now it is trying to create a solid shape, so we want to change the direction to direction 2, so it goes down the way, and make sure that it is set to cut, because we are extrude subtracting this so that we create a hole rather than a solid shape. So if I press OK, we should be able to see all the way through the earpiece. And that's it. That's us created the first part of the earbud. So we're going to go up to File, Save As, and save it to our OneDrive named Earpiece. In the next videos, we will look at creating the next 2 shapes, and then on the 4th video, we will constrain it all together.